Yorker really nailed it. She noted on Thursday, quote, "For Trump, the visual is always the thing, and his spectacle bears all the hallmarks of his orchestration. See, these guys will follow me anywhere. The message is that there's no detail too base, embarrassing, or grotesque to shake their faith." That's the part for me, and I think a lot of folks out here, you sit here and go, at one point as a United States congressman, do you just take your dignity and shove it? When you just take the respect that you've amassed as an elected official and shred it for a man who literally within 30 seconds of saying hello to you could turn on you. What was it inside that you saw that helped you understand this is cray-cray town? These people around here are absolutely out of their minds because there's an affection that's taken hold. Help us understand the fact that this guy's sitting here and he will say, they'll follow me anywhere. He was right. Fifth Avenue, that's just the beginning of what Donald Trump can get away with. I don't understand it. Help us try to figure it out.
Yeah, I think that these Republican lawmakers know that Donald Trump has such a hold on the Republican Party. And so they're very concerned with making sure that they are on his good side and in his good favor because they don't want him to come after them and be a target. And so they'll debase themselves and embarrass themselves in order to be on his good side and make him happy. I mean, you look at someone like, Ted Cruz, for example. Donald Trump attacked the looks of his wife, and now he's still out there as one of his most staunch supporters. And so it's just sad, honestly, when I look at some of these Republicans who I once admired. I mean, I look at folks like Elise Stefanik and Tim Scott, who I held in such high regard and were kind of heroes of mine of the Republican Party way back when. But watching them just debase themselves because they want power so desperately and want to impress Donald Trump, it's really sad, but it follows this trend that we're seeing. And I think that we're going to see more people show up at the courthouse when they're back in court this week, and that will continue.
But Sarah, you're a Republican, and you are a Republican who served in the Trump White House and has now said, look, it's a bridge too far for me, okay? We need to get back on track for democracy. You're not a, what do they like to say, a rhino, a Republican in name only. I feel like you're like myself, except I'm not a Republican, I was a Democrat. But like, I grew up, I worked campaigns, I wanted to come to Washington, D.C. I wanted to work in the White House. But you broke with the party. And I feel like that there are more Republicans out there like you, actually, except they have not exhibited the courage that you have. And so what do you say to the people that are, the chairman and I talk about it all the time, they like pick up the phone and say, oh my goodness, I just can't believe he's done another thing, da-da-da-da. But those same people will be out there parroting the talking points of Donald Trump and bending the knee. And as I said yesterday, y'all know what happened to Ned Stark when he bent the knee. He got his head chopped off.
That's right.
So what is your message to those folks that have yet to muster up the courage that you had? People that are like Elise Stefanik and Tim Scott, they don't have an ounce of the courage I feel like that you've had. Not an ounce.
That's really kind of you to say. And it is quite disappointing when I consider that I look at the people who have been the most vocal and spoken out, and it's folks like myself and Alyssa Farah Griffin and Cassidy Hutchinson. And these are young women. I mean, Cassidy and I were at the very beginnings of our careers when we made the decision to break with Trump world. And that's going to have an impact on us moving forward. I might not be able to go work in Republican politics again for another Republican, but I made that decision because I knew it was the right thing to do. And at the end of the day, you have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and hold yourself accountable and to a higher standard. And I would just never put aside my dignity and my integrity just to defend Donald Trump when we saw the types of things that he did at the end of his administration, where he was the first president to not go along with the peaceful transfer of power, tried to overturn an election, spread conspiracy theories because he couldn't accept the fact he lost that election, and then helped incite an insurrection on our Capitol. And so I look at these other Republicans, and I just wish that they would grow a backbone and a spine and just know that they want to say these things publicly, and we need to create create a permission structure in which they can. And so that's why I think it's so important for Republicans like myself and others to be out there saying these things, to show that it is okay to go against Donald Trump, and that, you know what, some things are more important than having a career in politics or power. And I know what my priorities are in this life, and I think that those folks may come to regret the decisions that they have made. I mean, Liz Cheney said it best, that, you know, one day Donald Trump will be long gone, but these folks, their dishonor will remain.
Well,
that